Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Monday. The weekend went by awful fast, but anyway, today is Monday, and of course, today is July the 1st, the first of the month, and it's hard to believe that June is history now. And anyway, we're in the seventh month of this year, and anyway, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that you were able to spend some time with your family, and hopefully enjoy the just the time away, maybe from work, and then hopefully you were able to worship yesterday at your place of choice. And anyway, I know we had a great day at church. And anyway, now here it is Monday morning, and we've got a brand new week ahead of us. Of course, this is the week of July the 4th, and anyway, we'll be celebrating that on Thursday. But anyway, this morning, I hope this morning finds you feeling well. I hope that you're well rested and ready to tackle the opportunities that God has blessed us with here on this Monday morning. This morning, I want to share a devotional with you entitled The Value of a Gift. In Matthew chapter 26, verse 13, it says, "I tell you the truth, wherever the good news is preached throughout the world, this this woman's deed will be remembered and discussed." I think it's interesting that, when, we read through the Bible, we read very little about, the great historical figures of the day. The great Caesars or Herods, or, the mighty armies of Rome, are merely backdrops, for the greatest story ever told. They serve as points of reference, chronologically. But, in reality, these people and events, they were secondary. It reminds us that God, He sees things differently from how we see them. We don't find, every miracle, every teaching, and everything that Jesus did in the Gospels. I mean, John points out to us in his Gospel in John 21, verse 25, he says, "Jesus also did many other things. If they were all written down, I suppose the whole world could not contain the books that would be written." The Holy Spirit selected certain miracles, certain teachings and certain events in the life and the ministry of Christ to be included in the four Gospels for our benefit. And the story of Mary and Bethany is one of them. Things were coming to a head, in the life and the ministry of Jesus. I mean, he'd had a number of increasingly confrontational exchanges with the religious leaders. They were ticked off at him, and they wanted him out of the picture. In short, they wanted Jesus killed. But you see, they couldn't do it yet because it was Passover. There were thousands of pilgrims, jamming Jerusalem, and Jesus, though controversial, still had his admirers. I mean, thus, they weren't going to strike yet. They couldn't, but they were plotting against him. And meanwhile, Jesus, he decided to go and spend time with some of his friends, and among those friends were, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Now, no doubt they relished those moments with Jesus. They could legitimately say that Jesus was their friend. Now, one day, they were with Jesus in Bethany, at the home of Simon, someone whom the Bible identifies as previously having leprosy. You can see Matthew 26:6 about that. But, Jesus, he had just taught the Olivet Discourse, and no doubt there were some follow-up questions. Not only that, but Lazarus, he had been newly resurrected. It must have been an incredible conversation. And then Mary, deeply moved by what she saw, she had to do something, dramatic, something extravagant to demonstrate her love for Jesus. And so she came with an alabaster flask of very costly, fragrant oil, and she poured it on Jesus as he sat at the table. I mean, it effectively was her life savings. I mean, I think it's worth noting that, that whenever we read about Mary, she's at the feet of Jesus. Now, maybe that's why she had the insight that she did. Mary, she took advantage of every opportunity to hear what Jesus had to say. Jesus was so impressed by Mary's act of devotion that he said the following, and again, I read this to begin with. It says, I tell you the truth, wherever good news is preached throughout the world, this woman's deed will be remembered and discussed. Let me ask, what's the most precious thing in your life right now? I mean, have you presented it to Jesus yet? I mean, that's what Mary did. I mean, and it cost her everything. The value of a gift is determined not by how much it costs, but how much it costs you. We are to give of our very best to Jesus and to be willing to give it up for him. And so I hope that encourages you here on this Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.